Hi, this is Morgenstein, and I would like to talk about and demonstrate some exercises from my book, Drum Set Warm-Ups. The idea for writing this book hit me one day when I was warming up on my drum pad, and I was struck by the realization that the drum set appears to be the only musical instrument that you don't warm up on. I was imagining a piano player searching out a tabletop so they could kind of tap their fingers on it, or a guitarist putting their guitars to the side so they could pick up a 2x4 and start sliding their fingers up and down it, or a saxophonist taking a kazoo and making all sorts of crazy sounds with it. Well, obviously all of these instrumentalists warm up on their instruments, playing various scales and arpeggios. Now, the importance of practicing on a drum pad cannot be overstated, because this is where technique begins. You focus on the hands, the wrists, and the fingers. But when you then sit down on the drum set, the range of motion involved in your arms moving in every direction, reaching for tom-toms and cymbals, not to mention that the feet are involved also, to me, suggests that we should maybe start our drum set practice with some warm-ups instead of just playing all of our favorite beats and fills. Now, the very first lesson in the book focuses on isolating one limb. Everybody is either left-handed or right-handed. I happen to be left-handed, and so this is my strong side. This is my weak. And so I devised some exercises that just focus on the one limb, and so it helps me identify trouble spots. Example number 1 just has you going around the drum set: snare, rack 1, rack 2, floor. And all of the exercises in this book are based on a 5-piece drum set with a snare, 2 racks, a floor, bass drum, a ride cymbal, a crash, and the hi-hat. But if you play a smaller drum set or a larger drum set with a little bit of imagination, you can take most of these exercises and make them work for your size kit. So example number 1 sounds like this. Just doing that with your weak hand will feel different than anything you've ever done before, because if you're like me, when you sit down at the drum set, you have both sticks in hand, your feet and arms are flailing everywhere. It feels very unusual to just play one isolated limb, but I think there's a lot of value in it. Now, I'll just play this a little bit faster. Example number 2 goes in the opposite direction. The exercises in this book have the arms moving in every conceivable direction: side to side, up and down, crisscross. There's a thing with drummers where we have a tendency to always start everything on the snare drum and then work our way around from the small tom to the large tom. So simply by doing exercises that mix it up, we'll kind of put the idea in your head that there are lots of different ways to go when you're coming up with cool ideas. Okay, so number 2 goes snare, floor, rack 2, rack 1. And now, in an attempt to be musical, but also make practicing out of books more fun, creative, interesting, and help prepare us for what lay ahead in the outside musical world, I will play at different dynamics and different tempos. So now I'll try this one, playing it really quietly. Just try and hit a drum quietly and you'll see how different the feel is. It's unbelievable. Number 3 combines numbers 1 and 2. So first it goes counterclockwise and then it goes clockwise. Like this. Jumping down to number 15, this is a challenging exercise because some of the distance that the hand has to travel is quite dramatic, going from the floor tom to the hi-hat, then the hi-hat to the bell of the ride cymbal, like this. In lesson 2 of drum set warm-ups, these exercises involve 4 strokes per hand. So after you play the 4 strokes with one hand, the other hand will either follow it exactly the same or it will go in the opposite direction. Number 2 has the hands following each other, like this. Has them doing a mirror image of each other. So it begins with the main hand going around the kit this way, and then the snare hand going around the kit this way. So it's like this. In number 7, the hands move in a sweeping side-to-side motion. If you're a right-handed player, right, left, then left, right. I do the opposite because I'm a left-handed player. So that goes like this. And I'm going to do this one with crescendos and decrescendos, just to kind of make it a little bit different. And so after you have done a few minutes of these unusual kinds of warm-ups, close the book, forget about it, and then just go off into doing all of the other things that you normally do on the drum set, or sort of just jam out. See you later.